Hello, this is Pam. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I have this cute little purse project that I was actually inspired by two different people. The first one is France Martin, and she has shared this little treat bag that I've made many of. This uses just the regular designer series paper, and it's the same style as this one that I designed. And then the other one that I got the idea from was another YouTube user called Paper Craft Button. She made a larger one. She used 12 by 12 paper, and I do not buy 12 by 12 cardstock. I only buy the 8.5 by 11. So I wanted a design that I could use my 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So I used the 8.5 width and just cut a square. So let's get started with how I made this one. I'll open it up and show you it's the same design as that smaller one there. You can fit, you know, quite a good size gift in there, or put a treat bag and put cookies or candies or whatever you want in there. Now, the one that I'm going to do today, I'm going to make it because I really do not like my closure on that. I'm not crazy about that, so I am going to revert back to the closures that I've made for these smaller ones, but I'll get to that at the end. So your cardstock, like I said, is 8.5 by 8.5 inches. It's a square piece of cardstock, and you're going to want to score all your lines. So I've already done that, but I'll have all these directions on my blog, so you can visit there too. I'll have a link down below the video. But put your cardstock in your simply scored there, and you want to score it at 1/2 inch, 3.5, 5 inches, and 8 inches, and then turn it around, and then you want to score at 1 3/4 and 6 3/4. And then while you have it in your simply scored, on this side here, come down and make a pencil mark there at 1 1/4, and then make a pencil mark at 6 3/4, because we're going to want to make a score line diagonally here and here. And then turn your cardstock around in the simply scored and do the same thing. And then to get this score line, all I did was take a ruler. This is my sewing one. Just take a straight edge, whatever it is that you have, and line up your pencil mark to the corner down here of this score, and just score line. And I did it right on my tabletop. It just helps so when you put your box together, that score line is there, because Stampin' Up's cardstock is a heavy weight, and it makes it a lot easier to have that score line there. So the first thing you want to do, these long 1/2 inch score lines, we're going to fold them actually the opposite direction, because at the top of the box is going to be used to reinforce the top edge. On those smaller ones that France Martin made, she actually used a piece of cardstock that she cut and folded over all that. But on these, I got the idea from Paper Craft Button to do that with these. So next then, you want to fold all your other score lines. Get those burnished down well. And there's no cutting on this bag at all. All fold lines and glued together, so that's helpful. Alright, so that's the last one. Now you want to fold in, keep the little 1/2 inch marks there at the top and the bottom, and fold these sides in. Now where you have those scored lines, on all of these sides. That's what we're going to be using to help us crease that. So you're wanting to take this corner here and fold it back onto itself to meet this. And since we have that score line there, that's going to help fold that in. But sometimes I take the corner of my bone folder and stick it into there just to get it folded good down in that corner. And you may not be able to see, but I take my bone folder and I really crease that line down. So then that makes this line. And don't worry if that looks all funny, because that's going to be the inside. That's going to become your side. And you want to do this on all four of those corners there. So again, make your point at the bottom there and fold this line over to the crease and give that a good burnish down. And then the same on this side. That's why that red one that I didn't score the inside line, and it went together okay, but it was a little harder to crease, and I really had to burnish it down well. So I thought, well, the next time I'll make a score line just to speed it up a little bit and make sure that it lays nice and flat. There, so that becomes your sides, and see, these actually will fold in on itself, and then they come up, and then that creates your little bag. So it's really simple to do. It's easy to put together. So the next thing that you want to do are, like I said, these go to the outside. We're going to glue those down first. You can use sticky strip. I'm just going to use the fast fuse. Sorry, I keep moving my paper. It's wide enough to go all the way down the width of that. So just run your tape all the way down. And then adhere that. I'll run my bone folder over there real good, make sure it sticks. And then the other side, same thing. Make sure sometimes these fast fuse wants to stick to the side. And I think I'll put a little bit more over there. Alright. Said if you have sticky strip, that'll work just fine too. Alright, so those are all folded down. Now I'll turn it back to this is the inside. And you might have to, since we folded that backwards, might want to give that another burnish down on the side so that crease goes back this direction. On this one here, I put brads. Let me open that up. I put brads onto this flap, but I didn't. I started to punch it all the way through. Then I decided, well, you don't want the brad sticking out. That's the purpose of having that fold over, it is to hide that. But I did put brads into these. That's an option. You can do that. I'm not going to do it on this bag. I may just put some candy dots there instead. But if you want to do the brads, take your hole punch, and you don't need to go through all layers, just through the single layer there. Well, it'll have that fold over there. But I just eyeballed it. I just stuck my paper punch in there and then punched a hole on each side and then stuck the brads in. But I'm not going to do it on this one. I'm just going to leave it the way it is and maybe put some pearls on there instead. The next thing you want to do is put your ribbons on. This is for the handles. Now, this is Early Espresso seam binding, and these are 6 These are 6 inches. These are going to be a little shorter than this one. These pieces here were 9 inches. Like I said, I'm going to do them a little shorter this time. But what you want to do is put them inside here, and we're going to cover those up so they're encased in there. And all you need to hold those down is just glue dots. That's all I used on the other one. Put a glue dot on each end. Yeah, that's on there. And since I do not have my holes in there, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it by folding that over a little bit. And then just putting that in there like that. And that just holds that down. And then bring it around to this side and kind of do the same thing. See, just to get them even, see how far spaced you are apart. Stick your handles in, so that will be the little handle. It's, like I said, it's a little shorter than the other one, but I thought it'd be something a little different. That way you can see 2 variations of the same design. For those of you that don't have brads or don't like to use the brads, I think I'm going to trim off that little edge of that ribbon to get it nice and clean. And same thing on this side. Kind of eyeball where your handles are. And the same one over here. You don't have to be exactly even. Alright, so there's your handles. Now for the designer series paper that goes onto the inside, this is the Fresh Prints designer paper. It is retired. I'm not going to use that obviously this time. This is from the Olive Bloom paper stack. It's the 6.5 by 4.5 inch size, and I kept the width. This is a whole piece there. I kept the width at the full 4.5, and then I measured up and just cut it at 2 inch. So you need 2 of those, one for the front and then one for the back. And when I adhered this, I did use liquid glue because I wanted it to, it kind of bows when you fold this bag, so I used the glue to make sure that I had glue on all of the designer paper, so it would hold down real well. A little bit there at the top. And center those then into the front and the back. At this point it doesn't really matter which is your front and which is your back. They both look the same. There's not going to be a seam or anything, so there is no right or wrong side, whichever you prefer. Now if your designer series paper does have a pattern in it, like the triangles there, just make sure that you cut your paper correctly to the pattern so it's not going all sideways. And we'll stick this one down. Alright, so that's your designer series paper. Now, the next step is to adhere these pieces here to the inside. So, again, I'm going to use my fast fuse. And you only need adhesive here. That's the only place you need to put that. So, again, if you want to use your sticky strip, that's fine. I just run some at the top, a little down this side, and if I need to attach it there, and then down that side, and then the same on the opposite. Make sure you get it good at the top. Just break that. And then that's all for the side. And just attach those. Again, I'm going to take my bone folder and make sure I get it stuck down real good, because this is the heavy cardstock. It is going to take a little bit more to get that to stick. And then see, when you open that up, that's going to be your bag. And then the same thing on this side. Get my adhesive down. And this, I don't know if I mentioned this, cardstock is Lost Lagoon. It's one of the new in colors from, well, actually from last year. But it's Lost Lagoon. It does match the Designer Series paper that I am using. So give that a good press down. And then fold your sides up, and then there's your bag. Now you can fold these in, give them just a little pinch if you'd like. It doesn't really crease it much, but it just gives it a little bit more, so when you close it, it helps. Let's see, we're gonna put a little tab on it, but I always just crease it a little bit. And I do also give it a little bit of a fold inward, because it is curved a little bit. It just helps it from buckling. So there's the bag there. And then for the closure, I've used a decorative label. I can't really see that. Decorative label punch. And I scored it down the center. And then fold it in half. This is going to be our little faux closure there. So we're going to attach it onto there like that. So like I said, I'm going to do it differently than this because I'm not, I punched 2 circles in that to, because we don't really have anything that would cover that button. But I'm not a huge fan of that top. It kind of looks like a heart. It's kind of cute, but I wanted something different. And I played around for a long time, and I couldn't figure out anything that would work and look nice, so I just decided to revert back to my original closures on the other bags that I made. Now's the time to decide which side that you want to the front and which side you want to the back. This one I don't really think it matters too much. I think I'll use this one. So I have the sticky side there, so I put the non-sticky side onto the front, and I center it up and put the score mark just a little above the edge of the cardstock. And then I bring up the back. Make sure you get your ribbon out of the way. And push down a little bit onto the back. That way it's centered and you have a little bit of space up here, so when these close, it's not all scrunched and pinched. Alright, now on this one I'm going to use a gold button, and I'm not going to put any twine on it. This one I put twine on because underneath of there is a dimensional, foam dimensional, and I didn't want that showing through the buttonholes. So I put some twine just to cover that up. This one I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it plain. So I'm going to put, I think I'll put 2. These are the gold metal buttons. They're actually metal. They come in gold and silver. And I'm just going to attach that into the center of my label. And squeeze that down. Now, to get that to close, obviously that's not ever going to stay. What I use on my smaller ones are these little tiny Velcro dots. Whoops. These I got from Joann Fabrics. They're in the notions section, like where the needles and seam rippers and all them things are. But these work great for keeping these little bags closed. There's one on that one. You can see there. So all I do is I take one of each side, and they look, this one's kind of clear, and then obviously the soft part there is white. But I take one of each side and I stick them together. So they're Velcroed to each other. And then I take the clear one, which is the rough side, I guess I'll use, and I will stick it down. And I got plenty of play there. Doesn't really matter where they go. Put that down onto the label. So both pieces are still on there. And then close up your bag, get your ribbon out of the way. And gently press that down, and then to squeeze it together you can stick your fingers in there. Gently peel those apart. Otherwise they'll just stick to each other. And then push down really good on that. You want it to really adhere to your cardstock, because when you open and close that, you don't want both pieces coming off. And same with that one. Push that one down real good. And then when you close that up, they're already aligned because we put them on each other. And then that's the bag. And I said I think I was going to put something there. I think I'm going to use these pearls, because the label's white. I guess it would match. So let's use the largest one. Just center them in between your handles. Just gives it a little bit more decorative look to it. Like I said, this one has the brads on it. They are kind of small. Those are the mini silver brads that I used on that. Got that pearl almost all the way up my nail. But the pearls here are a little bit larger. I think they look nice. And you can put them both on, you can put them on each side there. Just line them up with your center of your handle. And you could put a sentiment on your little bag. You can, stamp it and punch it out and attach it to it. Or you can just leave it plain and maybe hang a little tag or something to the handle saying "for you" or something like that. Or you could just leave it plain. But that's the bag. I think they're cute. I love this side. I love this style of box. I said this one here you could put, that's quite a big area. You could put quite a good size gift in that one. The little ones fit the little Smarties candies just perfectly. I made a whole bunch of those at Halloween. Gave them to the girls at work. They just loved them. They thought they were the cutest thing. But I hope you like these little purses in my size, using the 8.5 by 11 inch paper. I hope you visit my blog. Again, you can see all of the dimensions. I'll have them all wrote up there for you, and the paper and the score lines and all that. And there's also a link on my blog to my Stampin' Up! Site if you'd like to order any products. Please feel free to click on that. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!